Welcome to this channel. This channel is for education and culture based on historical and scientific evidence. So today I like to start a new era for Wing Chun and for traditional Chinese martial art practice. So in martial art training, we like it or not, it is based heavily on the body conditioning. In other words, martial arts training is based on the person's health. So one cannot ignore the health, the fitness, and learning a few moves, thinking that is martial art. That is not martial arts. You can play movie like that, but that is not martial art. A big part of martial art is based on body conditioning. Namely, if you want to sprint out and KO the opponent, you need to have the cardio and muscular endurance to do it. In fighting, everybody will take hit, take blow. You need to have the body conditioning in order to take that. In fighting, you need to breathe continuously. You cannot hold your breathing at any minutes there or any instant there while it is in fighting. You're holding your breath there, it will cause your energy drop like crazy. So what is all this? Body conditioning. It's about your health. If you don't have the health, you can do the job. You cannot do the job. Not to mention, when you get up to about 40-year-old, 30-something, 40-year-old, the family doctor will often tell us that, oh, you are in the boundary of high blood pressure, of this problem or that problem. Or a very common one is the doctor will tell us that, oh, you are in the boundary of the high blood pressure. So you need to change your diet. You need to exercise every day. Those are about this body, this the health of the body. Now, can you get that part, that body conditioning part from just practicing Chinese ancient secret sets or internal sets? Can you follow somebody who said, hey, Wing Chun is about fighting, not about fitness. If you want to learn fitness, go somewhere. Here only teach fighting. Is that legit? Or, hey, this is the sets. You just follow me. Shut up. If you practice for 10 years, you will get it. Because the grandmaster in the past do that. Well, sorry, in today's world, with the science, not who is the best fighter, talk with your hand, not talk with your mouth. Science can prove that all those are not legit. In fact, all of those are problematic because they ignore the health, they ignore the body conditioning. Look at the Olympic player. Didn't they train really carefully? In one way, they want to get the best out of their performance. On the other hand, they want to take care of this body so that it is not seriously damaged. This is the real life. So the question today is, how do you know that your practice is proper? How do you know which type of training you need? How do you know either you improve or you're not improved in your practice? And how do you know that how to adjust your training every day? Because every day is a different day. Last night, if you don't sleep well, today is a different story. Last night or yesterday, if you have a lot of heavy work done, today you might be exhausted. Or yesterday, or for 1 week, you are in vacations. Today, you are in a very good body condition for hard training. So how do you know all this? Also, how do you know that what your teacher teach you is actually producing result? And also, how do you know that what your teacher teach you is the same thing as what he practiced? These all are problem. These all need to be solved today. Okay? We cannot fly blind. There's no such thing as you watch a Shaolin movie, Kung Fu movie, or some Wing Chun Kung Fu movie, and then you start to say, hey, I want to be like in the movie, that hero. Oh, that is this grandmaster. I'm going to study this grandmaster lineage. Well, sorry, that never works in world. It doesn't work. You look at the sport history of human in past 50 years, you can see what happened. Those Chinese hearsay and legend type of stuff never ever works. Not to mention lately, Xi Xiaodong stand up to prove to you that those things never works. So we need to have a way out instead of sitting down there fantasy. Okay. And actually the ancient is not as what we think today in terms of Wing Chun or traditional Chinese martial art. They are really, really scientific because what they do can be proven today with science that they know what is going on. But people today for past 100 years or more is clueless on what the ancient Chinese is doing. Okay. So get down to the business, to the bottom line. We need to know the purpose of our training, not just simply doing one sets and then you can be invincible, or doing one practice you can be invincible. There's no such thing. One need to know the purpose of training, what it is for. The second thing is one need to get exactly the proper training. Okay. The third thing is we need to be able to know either we improve or we never improve with the practice. And then also every day, what should I train today? What type of intensity should I train today? Is today a recovery day or is today a hardworking day? This is a serious issue. Now, even in the daily life, there are many martial art friends of mine. they went to see a doctor for checkup, monthly, yearly checkup, and usually they will get the advice from doctors say, hey, you need to do more exercise. And people come tell me, well, Hendrik, but I practice martial art. How come the doctor tell me I need exercise? Is the doctor stupid or what? Well, there is the problem. Do you do the proper exercise? You cannot assume. We all cannot assume. Now, so with my books, Decoding Wing Chun, where I presented what the ancient teaching is, put it in the today's sports science and medical science stuff, and using the today's fitness tracker like the Apple Watch, which is everybody know, like it's a very good fitness tracker. Even some of the function is even FDA approved. With this, with all those informations, we now ready to get into the new paradigm or travel into the new era. And we must do that. Because only if we do that, we can answer the question just now what I have asked. Okay? Now, in the Decoding Wing Chun, I have already mapped this thing up saying that the ancient Chinese training, or even more specific, the ancient Wing Chun training, you have 3 types of training. The qi nourishing training in today's world, which is recovery, the fitness training, and strengthening training. Well, all of this in the Decoding Wing Chun book have already made equivalent with today's sport science and today's sport medicine term. So you know, oh, when the Chinese talk about qi nourishing, you know that it's about recovery. When the Chinese talk about, oh, you want to circulate your qi or energy, you know, mostly it is for the fitness training. And when the ancients saying that you need to train for your fighting, you know that there's a strengthening training. You know these 3 types of training. And because we map it with the heart rate zone, okay, heart rate zone type of training today, we can really, really accurately doing or practicing that type of training, and we can know the characteristic of that type of training, and we can know either whether we need those type of training or which type of training it is suitable for us. Okay? For example, a beginner must not go into the strengthening training. As I point out in the Decoding Wing Chun book, you can get into the aerobic deficiency syndrome, where your heart rate is going to fly high because you do not have built out this part of training. And if you have built out this part of the training, the fitness part, you are fit, well, then you can go to the strengthening training. So you need to know your purpose of training. And even though if we are really healthy, really strong, but if we have a long workout in the yesterday, then today we need the recovery. So we need to know the purpose of our training and what do we need. And with this, as in this book, Decoding Wing Chun, the details is all there. Not just I say or just a usual Wing Chun book and to post some picture and post some history. No, it get into this is what Wing Chun in the past teaching is. This is what sports science is. This is how to measure it. Okay, so one need to know the purpose of training. That's the first thing. We need to solve that. Not everybody is the same. If we are weak or if we have a high blood pressure, anything, for heaven's sake, don't get into the strength training right away. You want to do here the aerobic training because this is too vigorous. Okay. So that is the purpose of training. The second thing is, how do you know that you have a proper training? Well, for example, you practice, say, Xiu Lim Tao set. A proper design Xiu Lim Tao set like the S21 set, which is I share in this channel, the S21 set, which is a modern design, scientific design, Xiu Lim Tao set. When you practice that, your heart rate will show you the zone 2 heart rate. Okay, zone 2 heart rate, which is 60 to 70% of your maximum heart rate. Now, when you practice it, if you end up in, say, zone 4, 80 to 90% of your maximum heart rate, or 70 to 80% of heart rate, you know something is wrong. You know the practice of Xiu Lim Tao, the S21, is not proper. That set is not designed for that. That set is designed for zone 2 to build out your aerobic base, to increase your mitochondria. Okay? So because you know that, you know what is the proper training. And if your practice have you in the zone 3, then you know that, hey, I have to slow down. I have to loose down my body. If that is not working, then you know, as in this Decoding Wing Chun book, probably my breathing have a problem. So you can tune it because you know the target, you can tune it so that you can get benefit from training your Xiu Lim Tao sets. Or else, if you're flying around here, it is like my friend who told me, well, the doctor is stupid. I do workout every day, and the doctor say that I need or work to do fitness training. Well, you know, guess what? A lot of people, they go train martial arts. They actually train in this range. They do not have enough build out their aerobic base in this range. So they get into the aerobic deficiency syndrome and so forth. You see your doctor, the doctor tests your vital sign, will tell you, you need to do exercise. So what does it mean? The doctor mean that you need exercise? Mean that what he means is to build out your aerobic base. This is modern science. Come on, okay? Now, how can you know you improve? So usually when you practice, say, light shadow boxing, okay, a long shadow boxing, light, with speed, but the strength intensity is really light. When you start to practice that, you might get into this zone 3 to zone 4. Okay, so from say 70 to 90%, just doing the light shadow boxing. Okay, So zone 3 is 70, 80. Zone 4 is 80, 90. Just doing light, you get that far. Well, but if you do it properly with your body, hand conditioning, with your breathing, and you do it, after a while, you can know that, hey, how come my heart rate is dropping to zone 3? So I do the same type of workout, but now my heart rate is at zone 3. Now you know, oh, my body conditioning works. I actually have improved my body, my health for this purpose. So that's how you know you improve. If you're doing it, practice it, and it is zone 3 to zone 4, and later it becomes zone 5, then you say, shoot, something is wrong. Okay, something is wrong. Now, if you do it, you are in zone 3, and later it got getting down to zone 2, then you say, no, okay, I can do harder training. You can improve. You can do harder and more. Usually you can get into the strengthening training. Now you know their body is ready for that. So all those are scientific. Now, every day, when you wake up, when you do, say, your S21, your 小念頭, as we said just now, that is always in zone 2. You practice the 小念頭. Well, after your 15, 20 minutes practice, is always in zone 2. Good. You know that your body is as usual. But if that day when you practice it, your heart rate go to zone 3, you know that either you are getting sick, or you're having a cold, or you are too exhausted, or you don't have enough sleep. Then that day, you know you are not going to do strengthening training. So if you practice in the morning and as usual as a zone 3, zone 2, then you say, well, I can go to the strength training today. But if it flies to zone 3, then you say, well, no, that day I don't want to do the strengthening training. My body might be exhausted. My body, I might coming with a cold, or I don't have enough sleep, or my body not recovery yet. I'm not going to go to do the strengthening training. I'm not going to do sparring that day. Okay? So we know, and in that condition, when you do zone 2 practice, it end up the zone 3, you want to going downward. You don't want to go upward for the strengthening. You want to going downward for what? For recovery training. So you want to do recovery training. Usually when you do recovery training, because your situations is due to your lack of sleep, you do some recovery training, and there's a nurture chi training, like the N1 training I said in the book, the breathing, the training. And you go back and you see, oh yeah, my heart rate when I practice 小念頭 is no longer go fly the Z3. Then you know, well, I don't have enough sleep, so I still don't want to go to zone 4 or the strengthening training. Now, if you get into the nurture chi or recovery training, and now your heart rate is not going down as usual, or your heart rate variability is not going to rise. Now you know that you have a problem that you might need more rest, or you really coming up with a cold. So you don't want to touch all this thing. You just want to stay in your nurture chi all day long and checking your heart rate variability, So this is the way how every day you can adaptively know the entire thing. And this is what you can tell your doctor. I do this, in this heart rate zone, or asking the doctor advice, say, what can I do, strengthening training and so forth. Because it influence your intra-abdominal pressure, influence your eyes pressure and so forth. That's why in the strengthening training chapter here, I list everything there, what can go wrong. What is the proper training, basic, and what can go wrong scientifically. Does the ancient know? Sure. So that is how it is. So with today's, like the Apple Watch, you can tell me, this is a Apple Watch with applications and apps, which have the pay. It can tell you, oh, your AirPod is moderate here, okay, and your heart rate. See, the heart rate is not flying around. The heart rate, I can ram it up, coming down, ram it up, coming down until very far, coming down, right? And I know my meds, meds of 3 and under is for recovery type of workout. 3 to 6 is for fitness, and 6 to above, it is for rigorous. You know where you are, okay? And also you know your heart rate variability. If you do recovery training, you know your heart rate variability. You know the training effect. And of course, this thing, even if you don't have the apps, the data is in the Apple, the health. You can find it there, okay? Now, your heart rate, your breathing rate, if you have Garmin, okay? And this is for the fitness training. This is for the recovery training. This is for the strengthening training. And your VO2 max. In Apple Watch, you have VO2 max. It is cardio fitness. It gives you the number. So we need to do this. Or else, what the heck are we doing? So for past 40 years, I am really not satisfied with what the heck is going on in Wing Chun. That's why I do this research. And it is not only in Wing Chun, in all other traditional Chinese martial art, including Qigong too. Especially those who say, oh yeah, this is a Qi internal. Well, you look at that today, you know that those things can contribute for fitness. Those things is not for strengthening training. Are you serious? Those things can go for fighting? And for fitness training, it's not even for recovery. Are you serious? You can do it for recovery? Not to mention, like these days, for past so many decades, almost 100 years, people keeping inventing their stuff. This is called mind power. This is Qi. Well, you tell me what is happened in the real world with the science. While as I proven to you in the decoding Wing Chun, the ancient and today's science, the high tech, it mapped together. It's just the Chinese say in a different way, like the Chinese say in the Chinese language, the English say in the English language. They are the same because they are human. And that relate everything to our daily life. Okay? So why do I want to practice my sets daily if I have no idea what the heck's going on? What is it going to give me? What is my push hand going to do for me? For friendly fun, that's fine. For explosive, getting into the fighting zone, in the decoding Wing Chun, I told you that about fighting zone. When you get into the fighting zone, The ancient Chinese say that you always have to have about, say, some residue in your breathing, in your lower abs. So what it mean? That means that you have to have how to say that, a back, about a 30% of breathing in, and the intra-abdominal pressure in your body at fighting. You don't want to key eye until your breath is all gone, or you don't want to exert your strength until you don't have intra-abdominal pressure, you don't have breathing. No, you always have to keep about 30% of your breathing capacity and your intra-abdominal pressure, so that, hey, you can throw a few blows and you have 30%, you know that there's a time you're going to intake to increase your breathing. You want to move out or just clinch and everything, so that you're going to charge or take more breathing in and so forth. Now, at 30%, what if when you want to do the charge and somebody right away see your timing, slam you in? Well, at least you have 30%. You can take that blow for handling the emergency and right away out of the area, because now you really need your breathing. And in the fighting, the breathing is manual, is man-made. Like in the decoding Wing Chun, I said. Why? Say if we go running, we can run sprint. Our breathing always is, say, you sprint, when you're out of breath, before out of breath, you inhale, you have a natural cycle. But when you're in fighting, as I just described to you, I throw a few punch, I get to 50%. If I don't have time, I need to respond, I can go more until my 30%, and now this is the real low I need to get out. Okay? Because my reserve is low. And if I throw until 50%, I take a chance, I want to clinch in and then just take breath so that my breathing go back to 80%. It is playing that game. So you think about it like battery, like you play gaming, the battery, when your battery get low to 50%, your energy low, you want to find an opportunity to charge it out. But your opponent is not going to let you charge up because there's a name of game. But then because you have 50%, you can still go down to 30 because there's the usual, you have the reserve. Now, if you're at the 30, you want to charge up, and the opponent know their job is to break your rhythm. Well, you still have that 30%, and you probably can drop another 15%, get out. Those are handling which is not natural at all, but you have to base on the natural lower abs breathing for that 100%. If you don't know about this natural breathing and all those things, like in the recovery chi, and then the recovery training and the fitness training, you go fight right away. Do you know what you get into? So that's why breathing is a big deal. And of course, it comes parallel with your breathing is your intra-abdominal pressure. When you have that breathing, you have that handling of the intra-abdominal pressure. When you, like you see many people key eye, key eye until the entire gone, your body right away limp like jellyfish. It lost its stability and solidness. Okay? Now, can everybody play this game in this highly man-made situations? Well, as I just shared with you. You cannot play if you don't have that training of deep breathing. If you don't have the deep breathing, you force it, it's going to cause problem with your body in the long run. One of the things is like the aerobic deficiency syndrome. The more you go sparring that way, you will end up with what? Because you're holding your breath and so forth, or over exhaust, you'll end up that your heart rate become irregular. Long term for that, you get problem with your heart. Your eyes, if you're holding your breath, taking blow and everything, your eyes pressure can jack up. Long term, that's why you see a lot of boxer or martial artists have eyes problem. So we need to know what we get into. That's why I make this video. I say today, here on, move forward. Past is past. There's no blame, but they don't know. And today, we do not want to risk our health, risk our life. Why the hell we want to get into something which is scientific proof that you can screw the entire thing up? Not to mention when you teach students, what are you doing? So usually, most people will ignore what I'm saying, but people who are more than 30-something-year-old, when the body start to have a tear and wear, they know what I'm talking about. Or the guy who really trained in the scientific way, they know what I'm talking about. Okay? And it is not about talking with your hand, not talking with your mouth. If you don't have the health, what the heck do you have anyway? Fighting? You look at those who promote fighting, how old they die, how young they die. If they promote fighting, they do not have the scientific training. For example, the tragic of Bruce Lee. Is he a good fighter? Yes. But you look at the Olympic trainer, the one who really trains scientifically, or even MMA trainer, MMA fighter. The one who train scientifically, proper train, they have less injury and problem. But still, as in Decoding Wing Chun, I tell the world, when you get into the strengthening training, you can expect problem. You need to expect problem because what? At the strengthening training, performance is the goal. It's not your health. Okay? So I like to share with you this today, and there's a reason why I wrote the book. Decoding Wing Chun is not about fighting. Decoding Wing Chun is how we need to take care of our body, our health, and how with today's technology like Apple Watch, where everybody in America, in Europe know that it is a good tools or standard to check our fitness. Like you can see that like in Apple Watch, your like your cardio fitness and everything, you can share with your doctor and so forth, medical doctor and so forth. We want to have this grade of standard with the ancient and modern science. We fuse together. We use technology to help us. That is the intention for Decoding Wing Chun. Not about talking. Oh, in a long time ago, there is a Buddhist nun called Mui, and then he's teaching this new type of martial art called Wing Chun to defeat blah 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 blah, fighting all day. Are you serious? Is a Buddhist man or monk, a nun is doing those kind of things? Those are bullshit. Go to check out in the history of Buddhism. Is that like that? So you know, those are stories. You following those kind of stories? What is the consequence? Like yesterday, I shared that this Shaolin instructor in Shaolin in China, well, say that he have this body dharmas, internal art that he can prevent from all sickness. And then now people is the young Chinese is challenging, said, why do you die from COVID at age 59? You don't want to go there, okay? Because you know that this world, let me tell you something. The Chinese, okay, like today, because of this computer, you have blue light. Okay, let me share with you this blue light. And blue light can cause eyes problem. Now, if you look at the ancient Chinese, they have massaged the pressure point here to actually healing the eyes problem. And also they have herbs that it can heal the eyes problem, and it is effective for cataract and different kind of eye disease. No, it can help. Now that is past. But today you are facing blue light. So what you need? You need this. So when I write my book, I need this. It's not my Qigong. I need this. Even though I do the Qigong, I do the massage, I need this. This is modern. And with all the massage, today people have invented this. This is the massage. Remember, I'm talking about the pressure point? You have the massage. So the ancient and now they actually helping each other, and it grow. How the world is the Chinese know about that? You need a blue glass, a blue light glass like this. The Chinese will not know. If you go back to 1,000 years ago, 500 years ago. So don't tell me that the Chinese know everything. Even though I'm a Chinese, okay? And I just want to share with you, okay? You just don't get things wrong. So I just want to share with you this. This is from my book, Kung Fu 1560. This is what Qi Ji Guang said. Ji Xiao refer to evidence-based and effective. Xing Shu refer to a book that keep pace with time. It is based on traditional methods and it is not restricted by tradition. 1560, Qi Ji Guang already tell you. It has to be effective. It has to be fit to this time. You can follow tradition, but you are not restricted by tradition. If today this blue light stuff, I don't have this anti-blue light glasses, blue light blocker, I just do my massage and I drink my herbs tea. Do you think I can avoid problem? And how long can I do massage here? 5 minutes. But if I just put on this, it is more effective, right? So this is reality. And decoding Wing Chun is for this. I'm not saying that I'm the grandmaster of the universe or the Wing Chun. I don't give a damn for that. What I give a damn is the people. It's like you and me are ordinary people. We better know what the heck we're doing and stop watching too much movie, and all those movie maker is make like a, yeah, I just want to share this funny thing with you, okay? If you're still here. Yesterday, I just share with a few Chinese friend, close friend. I say, if you watch today's TV series or movie, the emperor's wife, okay, or the emperor's wife in the palace will look this way. Well, isn't everyone is cute, pretty? But you know what is the reality of the real the Qing dynasty, the emperor's wives? They look like this. Okay, they look like this. Okay, so if you get stuck into this movie, okay, you think that the Chinese is like this in the ancient. Oh, this is called romanticizing the past. It's all like this. You dead. Why? Because you are living in your fantasy. It never real at all. Because the reality is this. But if you start with this, you start with this, the reality, and then you say that, you know, now these days you can have better makeup. You can even have plastic surgery. Then you can become like this. So if you trap into the movie and the romancing the past, romanticizing the past, you're going to get screwed because you're living in the land nobody know what is going on. Okay, so if you go thinking this is real, then you will never be able to fight this. You will never be able to fight in these situations. So welcome to this real world. Take care of your health. Train proper. Train scientifically. Because your health matters. Yesterday, a friend just told me that the husband of his niece died at 37, age of 37, with 4 kids. Don't get into that, okay? Those are really sad. In today's living cost is high and everything. So that's why, again, you go back to track your training. You want martial art Wing Chun to help you to live better, even to perform better if you love to join tournament. But don't let all these things screw you all your life.